Now I'm pressing the button.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to watch our presentation about living on campus at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. So first off, we will start with some introductions. So just to preface, here at UNO, we have two different campuses that offer housing. We have Dodge Campus and Scott Campus. So Demaya, would you mind explaining your role for Dodge Campus?
Yeah. Hi, my name's Demaya Valdivia. I am the housing operations coordinator on Dodge Campus. So I oversee all of the housing applications we receive. I also assign room and roommates to Dodge Campus residents, and I coordinate with Taylor on Scott Campus residents.
Yes. So my name is Taylor Brewer, and I'm the leasing professional for Scott Campus Housing. So if you're offered a spot on Scott Campus, I will be the one sending out those lease offers and then also coordinating any move-ins, move-outs, and transfers for all of our properties. I also oversee the Scott Campus leasing email, any charges for rent, the roommate matching process, and then more. So throughout this presentation, we'll explore the benefits of living on campus, the different types of housing options available, and then also what you can expect during your time here. Whether you're looking forward to connecting with others or just figuring out the best way to adjust to your new living situation, we're going to get you covered. So by the end of today's session, we hope that you'll feel more informed, excited, and then ready to make the most of your time living on campus. So let's get started. All right. So to start off, we're going to provide you with some quick general facts about our housing here at UNO. So the first one is we have over 2,500 students living on campus, which will create a vibrant, active community where you'll have plenty of opportunity to connect with peers, participate in events, and then also make the most out of your college experience. As mentioned before, we also have two different campuses that offer housing. So as a reminder, there's Dodge Campus and there's Scott Campus. The biggest difference between the two is going to be the location and then also the different dorm buildings offered. So Dodge Campus is located on our main campus, and then Scott Campus is located in Exarban Village. The distance between the two, I would say, is about a 6-minute drive through Elmwood Park to get to one campus to another, and that's just kind of dependent on traffic. So with that, our different dorm buildings here can be located in that gray box in the bottom right corner. You can see our different properties. So with Dodge, they have Maverick Village and University Village. And then at Scott Campus, they have Scott Village, Scott Court, Scott Crossing, and Scott Hall. We also offer two main types of units. We have apartment style and traditional style units. Apartment style units are provided with a full kitchen and are similar to any apartment that you'd lease if you were living off campus. However, the big perk is that all utilities are included, so you don't have to worry about paying off campus apartment fees such as internet, water, sewer, trash, electric, and the list goes on. We also have traditional style units. So the main difference between those two are that the traditional style units are provided with the kitchenette. So it's like a mini kitchen. It has a microwave, a mini fridge, cabinet, storage space. And then they also have a built-in all-access meal plan included in the lease, along with weekly housekeeping service. This style of floor plan is a good option for students who are moving away from home for the first time and don't plan on cooking a lot during the academic year. Another note for our traditional style units, they are only located on Scott campus. Our most common type of unit is going to be a 4-bedroom apartment style unit for any of our housing at UNO here. We also offer two different types of contract lengths. So you'll see in bold below in that bottom left corner, we have academic contracts and annual contracts. So for academic contracts, they are for the fall and the spring semesters. So it's going to be perfect for students who are only here during the academic year and then plan to live off campus for the summer. Our annual contracts are for the fall, spring, and summer semesters. So this lease would be perfect for students who are planning on staying during the summer. They may have summer classes, internship opportunities, a job, anything like that. Annual lease lengths are also ideal for students who need a more continuous living arrangement, as you get the option to renew for the following year in your same spot, which may create less hassle in moving for years to come. All right, so next I'm going to be talking about some of the perks of living on campus. So, one of the major advantages of living on campus is the opportunity to be immersed in a peer group. So, you're going to be surrounded by fellow students who are in similar stages of life and academic pursuits. So, being on campus also makes it easier to get involved in student organizations, clubs, and then even events. Also, living on campus has been shown to have a positive effect on academic performance. So, when you live close to your classes, libraries, and then study spaces, it's going to be easier to stay organized and then also manage your time effectively. Another thing is being in part of the on campus community means you're never far from someone who can offer guidance or support. So, it could be a professor in the hallway or even a resident assistant who's available to help. Another thing is on-campus housing often provides access to various amenities that make daily life more convenient. So depending on the building and the property, we have amenities such as laundry facilities, fitness centers, media lounges, and study lounges. Perhaps the most obvious benefit of living on campus is the proximity to your classes and campus resources. You won't have to worry about traffic, parking, or then even those long commutes. You can wake up like 10 to 15 minutes before your first class, maybe still have time to grab some food in the dining halls, and then still make it to class on time. And then another thing we also offer in on-campus housing, we have different housing communities that students can opt to live in. So for our learning communities, also termed as LLCs, those are housing communities that are more scholarship based. So if you're approved for a scholarship in the Thompson Learning Community, the Scott Scholar Program, the entrepreneurship, and then even like the UNO Honors Program, you're eligible to live in their community. We also have themed communities. Those are primarily here on Dodge campus. And then those are more interest-based. So you don't necessarily need a scholarship in order to be eligible to live there. All you need to do is reach out to the housing office and state your interest. So some examples of themed communities are global, service, sustainability, and wellness.
All right, so now you know the benefits and the options that we offer here at UNO. Let's go over the application process. So the first step is you must be an admitted student at UNO. So that means you are able to access your MavLink account, and make sure you're checking your UNO email as well, because that is how we primarily communicate. And you also just need that to get around the UNO system. So once you access your MavLink account, you're going to go to the left-hand side. And on the right side of the screen, you can see a graphic. Under the admissions tab, you're going to check the apply for housing link. And so that will take you to our housing portal where you will log in again and start your application for UNO. In the application, there is a $260 deposit and application fee. There is an option to defer that $260, and we will apply that to your MavLink account at a later time for you to pay. Or you can pay the $260 up front if you would like to go ahead and get that taken care of. There is no deadline to apply, but housing is first come, first serve. So please make sure you apply at your earliest convenience and to increase your chances of being offered housing at UNO. Our housing application always opens up on November 1st for the fall, spring, and full year following years. So please make sure you, again, apply at your earliest convenience, as our applications are always open on November 1st. All right, so once you get through the application process, the next part is a contract or lease that should be coming your way if you are offered housing. So here's some information on that. So we use an app called RoomSync, which is the app that we allow students to use to match and find other roommates that they potentially want to live with for the year. So we send out that app information after a contract or lease is signed. So please make sure you complete all the steps necessary in your lease or contract offer so you can get the RoomSync link sent to you. That app closes on June 15th, so please make sure all your matches and requests are done and made in the app by that date. That is a hard deadline that we abide by, so keep that in mind as you are thinking of your process and applying and all that good stuff. And then in July, we send the room and roommate letters to all residents coming that are going to be living on campus that fall. So that email is going to be comprised of a lot of information that you need to know, which would include your move-in guide, tips on what to bring, what not to bring, how to prepare yourself for move-in, and just be ready for that time when it comes. And you will also sign up for a move-in time and day, depending on the campus that you're assigned to. So you want to make sure you get that done so we can prepare for your arrival and have everything ready for you when you come.
Awesome. And so I'm going to talk about that last bullet point at the bottom there. So I know we mentioned we have those two different campuses, and we also mentioned their location and that it's a 6-minute drive. A lot of students are like, well, how am I going to get from one campus to another? Well, UNO does offer free transportation through their shuttle service, and that's offered between Dodge and Scott campus. So a lot of those will happen whenever any building on campus is open, shuttles will be running. So even if it's finals week and you're staying late at the library, we'll be able to get you back and forth and to and from. So we just like to preface that there will be shuttle routes through. So even if you live on one campus and you have classes on another, that's totally fine. And a lot of our students do that.
So we also offer some meal plan options. Again, like Taylor said, there is Scott campus and Dodge campus. So if you would like more information, please go to these links, do your research and kind of figure out which best suits you, as there are multiple options out there available. All right. So once we get you, through the application process, we get you a contract, you're all ready to go, you got your roommate, all that assignment stuff. Here's some more information on how we can support you once you are actually here living on campus. So one of the main people of contact for you will be a resident assistant. We also call them RAs for short. So they are a peer that live either in your building or in your hall. That are just another resource. So if you have questions about like roommate issues, if you maybe need some assistance with like laundry, you're just not too sure where to go or who to direct your questions to, your RA will always be there and you'll have their information. So they are great contact for you. We also have resident life coordinators. So they are professional live-in staff. They live on campus just like you do. They are a step above the resident assistants, but they are another great contact and resource if you maybe don't feel comfortable with going to your RA or just want to go to someone else. You also have the option of going to your RLC, which is another acronym we use for their name. And then we have administrative support staff, which is Taylor and I. So you may not always see us. We are in the background doing all the hard work to make sure you have everything you need prepared to move on campus and to get you here. So we are always here and available via email or phone call, or you can stop by our offices and see us. We're always around, just may not always be in the forefront. And then we also have maintenance staff. So if you have like a work order, your sink is clogged, or maybe your drain is not, functioning properly, you can always put in a work order and our maintenance staff will come out and make sure they do the proper things to get all your systems working properly. And then we have housekeeping. So some of our lease types offer housekeeping as well. And that just includes someone coming and like cleaning some of your primary spaces and spaces that you share with others. And again, that's based on your lease type. So not everyone is offered that housekeeping option. But those are just quite a few options that we have for support staff here once you come and live on campus with us. And then if you have any questions, if you need some further information or clarification on anything, please feel free to reach out to us. That is our main email and phone number for our housing department. There's also a website that has a lot of useful information on there as well. And at the bottom, there is a link to check out our virtual tours. So if you want to kind of see what spaces look like, we have those tours online for you to go and look at.